Hello, this is gonna be a quick guide for how to level your witch as an elementalist in 3.16. Obviously, if nothing changes, you can do this method in the future leagues. So today I picked a Spellslinger leveling with Wave of Conviction and Purifying Flame, something that you probably haven't seen before. I actually haven't tried it earlier, but I was very amazed and no idea why this skill deals so much damage while leveling. So this is gonna be a guide as if this is your second or maybe even third or fourth character in a league, because you want to get some leveling uniques which are fairly cheap, obviously. So first let's take a look at the required uniques. If you know anything better, obviously go for that, but these are the uniques that I used. 2 life sprig wands at early leveling. Later on you want to use carved wands, you want to craft them on your own with the vendor recipe you are seeing on the screen. Just get carved wands from the ground, just pick them up, or just get them from Act 1 NPCs, Act 2 or Act 3. Just check the NPCs from time to time, because later on you want to use these for Spellslinger. Once you start playing as Spellslinger, Spellslinger gets active later on at Act 3. So no, you are not in a hurry, alright? So just get those carved wands. Do the recipe that you are seeing on the screen, just use transmutation on those, make them magic wands. Later on get 2 rings and use them alchemy orbs on those rings, because this is a fire build, the leveling is gonna be fire. We picked ruby rings because they will provide fire damage to spells, and finally 1 alteration for each wand, and just vendor them all and get your wands ready. You want to use these wands obviously later on once you start playing as Spellslinger. But you should still pick up wands from the ground, fast wands preferably, so you can have maybe better replacements later on, but these can actually carry you to Act 9, Act 10 even without an issue actually, and that is how I leveled my character. Rest of the uniques: a gold rim helmet for resistances, a tabula rasa obvious choice for easy 6 link, glows. I don't use much unique glows, but there is a glows, I cannot remember the name right now, but I will put a picture, that grants charges, so that is good for early acts. Wanderlust boots, again another good unique for early acts, so because it grants freeze immunity. Later on just get a freeze immunity flask maybe, and don't use these boots after Act 5 maybe, because you will lose your resistances once you kill Kitawa for the first time. Also replace those glows and focus on some resistances on those pieces. And amulet Karui ward, again replace this later on because you will need resistances, but this is good for Act 1 to Act 5. A practice ring because you don't want to have any mana issues. A -8 is the maximum roll, which is like 5 chaos right now, but you can go for a lower roll, maybe don't even use one, but this actually makes things easier. You can also use Le Hoop of all rings for lots of resistances and damage and attributes. These are a beast while leveling, or use any other rare ring you see fit. Finally, a random belt. I mostly use belts for resist capping, so a rare belt. I'm not gonna even put a picture on the screen. 4 flasks, obviously quicksilver flasks, 1 or 2 of them, obviously fine. A diamond flask because this is gonna be a crit build. I always go for crit as soon as possible, using inspiration and increased crit support, so you can achieve good crit even at early acts actually. A life flask, a mana flask until you fix the mana problems, maybe some defensive flask as you see fit. Flasks aren't that important anyway, so these were all the things that I wanted to mention. So let's hop right into the skills you want to use, and that's gonna be it. By the way, I leveled this character for an endgame build, which is gonna be in my channel. So if you want to see what I did with this character, also go and check that, because that's a very powerful build that I used to farm triple beyond Nemesis maps, and the character is just a beast. Yeah, it is a very tanky, fun character in the end. So let's take a look at the gems. So at Act 1 to Act 3, until you do your first labyrinth, I go for freezing pulse leveling. So just get freezing pulse from the Act 1 NPC. Once you kill Hillock and enter the town, just go and talk to the NPC and get your freezing pulse, alright? I always go for freezing pulse because it is a fun skill and it also freezes and shatters enemies. Link, maybe Arcane Surge, and later on obviously added Cold, maybe added Lightning, depending on your links, alright? But obviously you should buy a Tabula Rasa. By the way, everything about the gems are in the Path of Building, so you can just maybe close the video and just go ahead right now. You don't even need to watch. Everything is in Path of Building. I'm not gonna mention everything, alright? One thing about Freezing Pulse, you need more than one projectile, so it actually clears better and feels better and actually can carry you to Act 3 easily. That's why there's actually a unique jewel, which is like one alchemy. Just buy it from someone else. If you are in a trade league, if you are playing in softcore league, alright? Softcore trade league. Or if you have another character that you leveled earlier, if you haven't touched the rewards in Act 5, you can actually get the jewel for free on your other character. If you haven't checked that, go ahead and buy the jewel. The picture is on the screen, and rush for a jewel slot as soon as possible while leveling. I will just show it on the screen right now. So this is the first 3 that I am following, alright? Just rush from spell damage nodes. Get this jewel as soon as possible, so you can put the jewel here and your Freezing Pulse can actually start shooting 3 projectiles. Obviously later on follow these trees, there are lots of trees here, like this. This is where I am starting to play Spellslinger. I also put a note here, because you want some reservation notes and also want to get some fire notables, and also convert physical to fire, because that is what Wave of Conviction and Purifying Flame needs actually. So just check here, everything is here, alright? This will easily carry you to maps easily. A 69 level 3, which is gonna be enough to start mapping, alright? At Act 1 also obviously go for a Frost Bomb, because that will make things easier. Just use Frost Bomb, Flame Dash or Frost Blink through the packs, and bam, they will just die easily. Use Freezing Pulse on bosses or beefy targets like elites or magic monsters. Also you can use Holy Flame Totem, which helps a lot. And also you can link all these damage dealing skills in a single Tabula Rasa at Act 1, alright? So you don't need to get any other links, color, anything else. Just put everything in your Tabula Rasa so they can all deal some decent damage. For buffs, start with Clarity obviously. At Act 2, get Herald of Ice. Later on, once you start playing a Spellslinger Wave of Conviction, that is a fire build, so we want Herald of Ash later on. And these are gonna be your buffs, all the skills. Nothing much else to explain, but in Act 3, just do your Labyrinth after level 32, 33, 35 maybe, or even go for Act 4 if you want more levels. If you are not a good player, maybe if you're a noob in this game, just go for Act 4, just get a couple of more levels, do your Labyrinth. This is an Elementalist witch leveling, so that's why we pick Elementalist. Get this as soon as possible, Mastermind of Discord, because exposure you inflict applies an extra minus 25 resistances and also some mana regeneration. Because Wave of Conviction is a skill that applies exposure, this is gonna buff that skill a lot, and you can just start playing as Spellslinger Wave of Conviction after you do your Labyrinth. And this is the tree you are at Act 3 after you do your Labyrinth, alright? Get this reservation node, because Spellslinger is actually a reservation skill. So you want to link your Spellslinger to Wave of Conviction and some obviously support gems. Just check them in the Path of Building. Because you will have plenty of mana left, use Herald of Ash as a buff. And also use another Spellslinger setup, which is going to be Purifying Flame. Do not try to link that a lot if you have mana problems. And just start slowly once you fix that mana problem. Because once you level those gems, actually Spellslingers, you will notice that you actually get more mana reservation reduction, because that is what the gems do, you know, the Spellslinger itself. So higher level Spellslinger means lower mana reservation. So after some time you can actually start reserving more stuff, or also get more reservation nodes on the talent tree. So how Spellslinger works, I will also mention that. You need to attack with a wand skill. This is also where you want to use those car wands, the ones that you crafted early on. So just start using those instead of life sprigs, because car wands are fast, that's why we pick them. Do not craft any other wand. Car wands have 1.5 attacks per second, because they are fast, alright, you want to use them. The skill we use is Frenzy, because it also generates frenzy charges. So you just want to reserve everything and start using Frenzy, you know, just move around, right click on your Frenzy, and you will notice that you will actually trigger all the spells without doing anything. That is how the build works. Very fun and easy leveling, and probably the best leveling I did after 3.15 nerfs. Very fun and effective, and that's pretty much it. Nothing else to explain. Check everything in the path of building, obviously. Don't forget to subscribe and like. If you want any other leveling guides for other characters, let me know in my Discord. I have a Discord channel. We have thousands of members. Just join and maybe chat with us. Also, don't forget to check the guide that the character that I made this with this wish. Alright, it is in my channel. And that's pretty much it. I will see you later. Bye bye.